Okay, let's get focus to go to Odyssey and bitch you. Okay, so this is the upcoming Shang-Chi film, which absolutely nobody is interested in.
Not even me. And I'm Asian.
Like, if you know comics, you probably know the character, you're familiar with it. But I don't think it had a huge fan base in America.
No, it was in the big, it was like, it came out in the 70s, but it wasn't like, he was a total B player.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, even I think the title of the comic wasn't, it was like Master of Kung Fu. And it was not anything of interest to me.
What was that TV show?
Kung Fu.
Yeah, all right. Yeah,
I think it was trying to catch some of that momentum that TV series had. But it was just, it's a guy who knows Kung Fu. He doesn't have any superpowers.
See, I always assumed he did.
No, he's just like he's like the best martial artist in the world, basically.
Like a lot of times in comic books, they go, somebody doesn't have superpowers, but they really kind of do.
No.
Like Harley Quinn, it's like she doesn't have superpowers, but she really kind of does.
This is like
healing factors is just got to be there. It's like
he's just like Hawkeye. You know, Hawkeye's just a guy with a whole bunch of like bow and arrows, so much trick arrows. He's a really good athlete.
Yeah.
But same with Shang-Chi, he was just like the most proficient martial artist of the Marvel universe, and his nemesis or the antagonist of the series was his father, who was Fu Manchu, and they clearly can't do that now, so they made the Mandarin from Iron Man, his father, in this one, which is going to be interesting because I remember with the Iron Man series, the Mandarin turned out to be like a total fraud. So obviously, I guess there's like another Mandarin out there.
Yeah, something that works. But like this movie's not on anyone's radar. Nobody cares about it. So the thing is, with Disney and even with Warner Brothers, they've had a bunch of bombs and underperformers, which isn't their fault because they thought
everything was going to be in the movie theater, and everybody would at least go see it that first week in the movie theater. So
yeah, like everything
it would make way more
money.
Like the first 2 weeks, they would probably do okay.
Like even Black Widow and Suicide Squad would have done pretty well.
Oh, I'm sure they would have done fine if it was pre.
Suicide Squad would have hit $1 billion. I'm sure.
If it was pre-COVID, then yeah, I'm sure they would have done fine.
But now, because you got that coming up,
even with Black Widow, I think that would have probably done fine if it come out the year before. If nothing ever happened and we're still in the same world.
Nobody wants to go to sit in a theater now, especially like the variants coming out. It's like I don't want to sit in a theater.
Yeah.
The next Typhoid Mary.
Yeah, because there's I was just in Florida recently, and like everybody's just walking around like jam packed, like it was 2018.
No masks.
No masks, nothing. Just walking around like sitting at tables in restaurants in the front, just all walking on the sidewalk together.
In California, you can go to restaurants. They go, wear a mask except when you're eating and drinking.
Yeah, what is that? That's kind of like.
But they also have more outdoor restaurants now. Like they're segmenting off parking lots, and they're putting concrete dividers. So they're doing outdoor stuff, which is cool because like outdoors, there's so much air movement. You're gonna be fine.
Well, then when I was in Idaho, where I did catch COVID, that was restaurants, like that was even when they had like all the mask mandates and
you're going to restaurants?
I walked into them to pick up stuff.
Oh, okay.
But I think I caught it on the airplane. But in the restaurants there, they were like, they had fully packed. They didn't like separate the tables 6 feet apart.
People need
nothing.
to go out. I guess yeah, because the economy kind of runs on it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. So Bob Chapek comes out and he goes, okay, so the Hollywood environment has got these string of Jungle Cruise, Black Widow, and a bunch of other films with bombing. And he goes, well, they're going to do this, the Asian movie on 45 days in the theaters to get as much revenue as they can. And the old model used to be 90 days, where like back in the day, it used to be like a year. Mm-hmm. So by the time it hit Showtime or something like that.
Yeah, or you'd wait till it was like on CBS or so, like years later you'd get to see. It was like so exciting when Empire Strikes Back was on network TV.
Oh yeah.
You were like, holy crap. What I liked is back then is they would get, it was like a TV edit, so you'd sometimes get little scenes that you never saw in the movie.
Would they add scenes?
They would take scenes that would had been edited out and cut out other scenes for pacing and it's for commercial time and stuff.
I didn't realize.
Yeah.
I knew they cut stuff out. I didn't know they put stuff in.
Yep.
But I guess when you got a movie, it's like you have a 2-hour movie, you really have like a 20-hour movie.
Right. You
It's
got a
so
lot to
crap.
work with.
So Bob Chapek is kind of says, okay, we're gonna do it in the theaters, try to get some money back. And I think like the psychology is like they know it's gonna bomb, they know it's gonna fail. So he called it an experiment, which rubbed the actors a little bit the wrong way. He releases a Twitter.
What's his name? Simu something or other. Simu.
I don't know. I mean, some nobody.
Some
I think.
Canadian actor, I think.
So he came out and like he had his feathers ruffled. He says, "Oh, we're gonna do the best job we can. And this movie's gonna be awesome." And like he gave a little pushback to Bob Chapek, which is kind of weird.
I kind of think it was orchestrated.
Yeah, that's possible too.
To try to drum up, quote unquote, controversy to maybe get a little bit more money because it's not going to make any money. So anything might
Yeah, that's very well possible.
Drive sales up a little bit.
But the thing is, people are a little bit upset about Scarlett Johansson.
What'd she do? Oh, didn't she sued Disney?
She's suing Disney right now.
Because she felt like they ripped her off.
I guess they had, I think it was an oral agreement on top of a written contract, which is a little bit weird. Something like that. There's a misunderstanding. Who knows?
Yeah.
And, like you can't account for the woo-flu, but it's also something that Disney should have handled privately.
Mm-hmm.
And so in their pleadings, they alleged that Disney wasn't returning their phone calls.
Oh.
It's like, you're Scarlett Johansson. Your agent should be able to get a representative on the phone.
To at least give you some BS line.
Like, you call those people back that, like, the same day. So they said they couldn't get a hold of them. They're like, oh, well, you have to go to litigation. So Disney, like, even people who are, like, working at Disney or in the movie business look at Disney like, what is Disney doing? Why didn't you handle this privately?
Yeah, it could have been dealt with. And nobody would ever have known.
Like, if you made her a promise that it was going to be in theaters and not streaming, then you got to pay her off for that.
Right, some sort of compensation.
You don't, like, she would have made like $50 million more. You can't pay that because Disney doesn't have that kind of money anymore. But like, you could give her another $5 million,
right,
and this would go away. So Disney's got like, you got the Gina Carano thing. People are kind of remembering that. Now you got Scarlett Johansson, and Disney's like, oh, you guys are so woke, but you like these women who have got conflict with you. It's a bit weird for a Disney company.
Right. Like, they're trying to be woke, but they're not really doing right by the women that
and then you
they
got
have
James
under
Gunn,
their wing.
Who's had those tweets and those comments being a real creep, and it's like, oh, you'd love to...
You let him back in.
Yeah. So
you just sort of let it kind of simmer, cool down,
and
then
fire him for a year,
then sneak him back in.
Like it doesn't, like, Disney's not the family-friendly company they were in the 80s.
Oh, hell no. It's a big money-making operation for sure.
Yeah, Bob Iger and Bob Chapek and whoever. So there's some rumors that the investors who have significant holdings are not happy with Chapek.
Because he's putting out bombs.
He's dropping total bombs.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's his fault or
is it just trying to reconfigure how to do business in a new reality.
Yeah, but the thing is, Disney and all these other companies, they're woke. So they see it as like, oh, we're going to have more women in movies while also simultaneously avoiding the male gaze.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, well, how does that work? Because guys want to see a beautiful girl in a short skirt or something.
Especially if it's whatever type of movie that's what's expected. Like, if you're like doing some other type of movie, then there's no expectation there.
You always want to see somebody in a low-cut dress, something.
Yeah.
And it's like, if they're seriously on board of voting the male gaze, they're totally screwed.
Yeah.
Because you can't have beautiful women covered up.
Right.
That's a whole different. Like, you can if you're making a drama.
Sure. Yeah.
But these aren't.
Or a comedy or some.
Like the psychology of the Suicide Squad. There's 20% of the psychology, I think. 80% is probably just seeing an action film, but 20% of it is probably to see Margot Robbie.
Right. And
there's rewatchability in seeing a hot chick run around in like shorts.
Right. And then you've got what's at the very end of that movie with well, you're saying the whole
The black chick hitting the other black chick?
yeah, where
Amanda Waller?
and she was never like you never even really saw her in that whole movie except for that last scene. Like
Yeah, the fat white guy who you said did the motion capture with the shark.
yeah,
He was set up to be the voice of conscience.
right. And then all of a sudden he just drops out. Yep.
That doesn't make any sense.
I just feel like they showed it to Chapek and he's like, or they showed it to some marketing department. Like, wow, you gotta like, you can't have him hit her over the head because you can't have a big fat white guy beat a black woman over the head.
But then, like, you got to go back and.
But so you better retool with that other lady.
And they look at it as, to reshoot the scenes, it's like that might be $10-20 million.
Yeah.
For a movie that, in this environment, costs $200 million to make.
And they know they're not going to make that back as it is.
Oh yeah, it's going to lose at least $100 million.
Yeah. So they just couldn't. They were able to afford that one scene of her getting knocked over the head by another black chick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like just. There's going to be a bunch of films that are in the position of losing $100 to $200 million.
Right.
Anything that, like Wonder Woman 84 probably lost a lot. I mean, it would have made $1 billion.
Yeah, just within the first few weeks of it just being in the movie theaters.
So they're gonna have to figure out the post-Wu Flu environment. I think you're just gonna have to get rid of the $200 million movie.
Yeah, and just if you're gonna go streaming, you can take that movie and turn it into a mini series or something.
Yeah, even though with the Mandalorian, it's like each episode's like $10 million or something.
Yeah.
So, but that was a huge hit.
Yep.
People loved the Mando.
Yep.
When is it? Are the new? What is season 3 out?
No, they're gonna have the book of Boba Fett come out first.
So that's like the Mando.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be Boba Fett and like some other characters that were in the Mando.
That seems like a really weird dilution of product to me.
Well, the whole Mando series was gonna be the Boba Fett Star Wars story. It was gonna be a movie. It was gonna be a Boba Fett movie, and then after Solo Tank, they yanked it, and then they retooled it as a TV series, and then they just decided to do a different character.
That was another thing. Is Venom is coming out. Has been delayed because it's another movie that costs over $200 million to film, and they realize they're going to lose money on that too. There's no way that movie's going to.
So what I just want to know is what do they do if they know they don't have a budget because they know it's going to lose money? Like what are they holding it for?
I think they're holding out on the and they say that someone did the math. It's a way to say like every day you hold that movie, it loses like $1 million in investment. Like if like you recoup return on investment, they go it's $1 million loss every day, something like that.
Huh.
So I think they're hoping the Wu Flu environment will change.
I mean, it just got back up again, so
a lot of that,
hold it forever.
Could be politics, it could be real. Who knows? It's like the politics don't care about movies. Hollywood, they don't give two shits about it. It's like you might as well just go right to streaming with Venom.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just do it. Just put it out.
I guess they're hoping the theaters open up and like we put it in theaters.
It's not now. It's not going to open up. Like maybe a month ago that was a possibility.
Ago for sure.
Not now.
After the new variant came out,
we're at least going to be back to square one through the beginning of next year, I would imagine.
And so Jungle Cruise, maybe I'll watch that tonight. I don't know.
Good luck, man.
See, here they reported it as like, I think it costs about $200 million, and it's not coming close to that to get that money back. So Hollywood's got a whole string of these movies coming out. Like they're still thinking, like they're still making these movies. Like they think the theaters, everything's going to be open. So I think they're swinging for the fences.
Yeah.
And they can afford to lose.
They're seeing what's going to stick, I guess.
Like $1 billion. They have a lot of money, but now that
pretty soon,
is open.
Pretty soon. Well, yeah, and the whole that Star Wars hotel's going to be open.
Oh yeah, I read that. It's like $5,000 a weekend.
It's like a two night. It's like a fully immersive storyline.
Yeah, you take a train and it's like digital.
You're in space. You're on a space cruise, and you can be either like a Jedi or a smuggler or some resistance agent.
If I was doing drugs the whole weekend, I guess it'd be cool. But I don't know, like there's no windows because it's all digital screens.
Well, the windows look like you're looking out in outer space.
Yeah, that's cool, but I think I get claustrophobia.
Oh, yeah, I guess I'm doing it. I'm gonna do it. I'll have a whole review about it.
It's like $1,500 per person.
Yeah,
$2,000.
I'm doing it.
Really? All right. It's that doesn't interest me at all.
It totally interests me because I just want to go there and never come back. That's my dream.
Right.
I just get stuck in there. And,
Just get stuck in the universe.
yeah.
Is that California or Florida?
Florida.
Oh, all right.
Orlando.
So who knows? Who knows what the proposed
Yeah.
environment will be? Anyway, I think movies are gonna. Movies are gonna suck for a very long time.
Yeah, they got to really figure out what the new format's gonna be.
It's gotta be low budget.
Yeah.
Streaming movies.
Yeah.
Or like you said, series and shows and stuff like that.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and I think people are tired of China too.
Well, I think that's what this whole kung fu movie's about. It's to probably get some money out of them.
Okay.
The Shang-Chi.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that'll work.
As long as it is like somewhat has something that's
All Chinese cast, right?
Yeah, it's all.
They also should do well.
Hopefully they'll like it, and maybe it'll make more money in that market. But they never count that. They never count international.
Well, the thing is,
sales.
also domestic take is it's something ratio like domestic theaters make so much more money, and you take like 85% of domestic. And in China, you take like 10 or 15%. So they go, oh, it made $1 billion in China, and it made like 200 million or 300 million in America. It's like, well, the American profit is actually more. Because the foreign market take is so much less.
I see.
But still, you've got a big Chinese audience. You got
enough so where they're kowtowing and doing things for them to interest them.
Oh, John Cena. Did you see that? John Cena?
Oh, didn't he apologize in Chinese to them?
He speaks Mandarin or Cantonese or something.
He apologized for something.
Yeah, for making something about Taiwan.
Oh yeah, he like said something about Taiwan, and that infuriated mainland China.
It's like,
and so he's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry."
He knows who Butters is. Did you just do that in an Asian accent? Oh, so sorry.
Yeah, I can do that though because I'm Asian.
I guess. Yeah, so people are kind of done with John Cena. I think people are done with Hollywood.
Yeah.
Hollywood's got a lot of like skeletons that are kind of like Epstein Weinstein type of stuff coming out of the closet.
Yeah.
Like even the James Gunn things resurfacing.
I think it's because it's kind of like when the tide goes out, like it reveals things. So all this like stuff. Hey. All right, so anyway, no dogs. No dog didn't kill anybody.
The Cujo didn't kill anyone.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful dog, but it is a pit bull. It's unfortunately.
Yeah.
I would put it to sleep myself, like with a 9mm in the backyard, because I don't want a dog that's gonna kill children. I'm gonna keep 100 with you.
Yeah.
It's 60 pounds, a friggin' death machine, or even more. I don't know. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, guys. We'll end on that high note, and we'll see you all next episode.
Peace.